It is the best loaf of the last year.
Nicely
Man,
done.
thank you. I'm so happy. The first time ever I have an ear, like that's crazy. The way it risen, I mean, it almost catch up yours, which is super cool. And I mean, volume-wise as well, like it's so big, and yeah, like I can't wait to cut into it and taste it actually. Nice.
Oh.
Wow. No, like seriously, I can't believe it. I measure always 200 grams of. Oh, I mean, you can see, but so many.
This is perfection.
Today we wanna make some bread.
Okay,
Make some sourdough.
let's make some bread. So what did you bring? You brought something from Berlin.
From Berlin. It's a full Vollkorn. What's the English one?
Whole wheat.
It's a whole wheat starter, and yeah, like I usually, it's risen way more than 2 times. All bubbly. Let's smell it.
What did the people say on the train? Did they say something when you showed off your starter?
No, I kept it hidden. Wow, it smells even different than
Before, right?
when I arrived, right?
So I think this is really one of the most important things to learn when you're making a starter. Not just go by like the visual signs you can see here, but also
By the smell.
just use your nose and smell it.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
this is my starter now in comparison.
They look completely different.
So,
They look completely different.
and they also smell different, right?
Yeah, it's like a red wine and white wine, I would say.
Yeah.
Somehow it got me this vibe.
And this to me is really the beauty of sourdough bread making, because your sourdough starter is likely completely different than mine. So the flavor you're experiencing and the way how it behaves is also different. This is the beauty, but also the complexity at the same time.
I guess you use different flour than mine.
So Brad Pitt has originally been made with whole rye flour.
Oh, you have a name?
Do you have a name too? No. What? You need to choose a name, else it's bad luck.
Really?
Yes.
Man,
That's the most important thing you need to know about sourdough baking. You need to give your starter a name.
that was why my bread is not way far from perfect. Oh my god. Okay.
You forgot about the name.
Oh, I have to think about it. But okay, 1 year anniversary. I know that it's serious, so okay, I'll figure out the name.
What kind of bread would you like to be making?
I usually like plain sourdough. Like I do a lot of also experimented over the year, like with inclusions, different seeds, also different, basically I blackened my sourdough, but somehow I just love the plain water, flour, salt thing, you know.
And do you want to make a freestanding loaf, or do you want to make a loaf inside of a loaf pan? You can make a pan bread.
All right, this is okay. Like, clearly, who is the amateur, who is the pro? What?
Yeah, it depends. I mean, it's the same dough, but it's different results in the end. You can make a flatbread in a pan. We could make a bread inside of a
Oh, okay, like a toasty thing. Okay,
loaf
okay,
pan like this, for
I
instance,
see what you
or
mean.
a freestanding loaf, which you would then sort of proof.
Let's go with the freestanding, because for the past year, I really tried to approach basically the bread that would look like kind of like your bread, like the super ear, like very rounded, that basically doesn't go to the sides but up. And yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm like 80% there, but this last 20% just cannot cross it. Like I think I watched like all videos out there. So yeah, let's go with freestanding.
Okay.
Because that's, I feel like, the most, I don't know, like beautiful one.
It's the hardest one for sure to make.
Yeah, so let's go with
If you can master that, you can master every other type of bread that's out there.
Sweet. Then let's go with this one.
Then I suggest we just make maybe 2 doughs. You can make a dough, and I'm also going to make a dough, and then we can just see sort of...
That'd be amazing.
Yeah? The difference.
Yeah, and yeah, let's do it. And then you'll correct me, like you see what I'm doing wrong and stuff.
I will try my best. Okay, then you go first.
Okay. All right. So how I usually do this, I already memorize my baker percentages.
Baker's math, yes.
Baker's math. So I usually go for like 80% hydration. I just love how the dough is not like, how I say it, like it's not like liquid, but basically, I don't know, love to work with it, just meditative. So I usually go with 200 grams of starter, 450 of flour, 350 water, and 10 grams of salt. So that's my method. I did this 50 times, so
Okay.
I don't need a calculator. So let's start with starter.
Sounds good. So we'll be using these containers, but you could also definitely be using a pot, or you could be using a glass bowl.
Yeah.
We're just using this for now so that it's a bit more visible to the people watching this.
Yeah. At home, I'm just using the IKEA metal bowl. Yeah, that's it. I have a couple of questions though before we start. I need, like I said, I need to demystify some things because I'm at the point where I watched too many videos and things are still not clear.
Okay.
So, like, I keep my starter in the fridge. So I just keep like, I don't know, leave maybe, I don't know, 30 grams of starter from the previous bake. And then I put 50 grams of flour, 50 grams of water, keep this in the fridge for a week. And then on Friday, I would take it out of the fridge, like basically discard the leftovers of the starter, and then put 100 grams of flour, 100 grams of water, leave this, I don't know, like on the shelf, and then by the morning I'll have kind of like this situation. So is it the way to do this, or like some people say, oh, you need to start feeding your starter like 2 or 3 days ahead? Like, is it a myth, or like it's actually, I don't know, does it work?
So everything sort of works, but I think you're missing out on efficiency a little bit. Okay. So the way you're doing it, you're feeding it probably even a bit too much. So you're spending a bit too much effort. What I would do is, in your case, you're making bread once a week?
Yeah, only like basically Saturday thing.
So what I would do is I would, let's say you made your dough for Saturday's bread, and then I would just take a little bit of that dough. Let's say maybe 10 grams or so is enough. Put that into the fridge and then feed it just one more time, coming directly out of the fridge. So let's say you would take 10 grams of your dough and then mix that again with 90 grams of flour and 90 grams of water. So you would have roughly 200 grams in the end. Wow. So you wouldn't have any discard, because right now you always have a little bit of discard, I guess. Yeah.
I just bought a waffle maker, so
so you're making discard waffles.
Yeah. So basically, because I also like hate like a lot of videos say like, hey, you also need to feed it with like 100 grams of water, 100 grams of flour. And it's like, man, but you're like wasting. I mean, not much, but like wasting thing. And so I went to 50 and nothing changed. So I already know that a lot of videos are like wrong. Like 50 grams isn't. I feel like even 10 grams is enough, because I mean, I left my starter like for 2 weeks one time. It smelled very like alcohol, and nothing changed. Like next day I just fed it again, 2 times rice. So I feel like all this like 100 grams in the fridge, it's all BS. But I love the idea of just like putting the dough in the fridge and then kind of refeeding the dough. It's awesome. But anyways, like leftovers, I'll just make waffles.
So this was probably maybe I had 1 or 2 grams of sourdough starter left.
2 grams?
Yeah.
What?
And I just fed it yesterday evening.
Wow.
So I'm really trying to not discard anything. Well, even though I think if you have to, or if you want to discard something, discard is sort of labeled as a bad thing. Yeah. But I kind of like the discard because it has so much flavor. You need to think about it as long fermented premium flour. Yeah. It's not a bad thing. So I also use it to make loaf pan bread, waffles, and these kind of things. Awesome. There's so much stuff you can make out of it.
I love it.
But I just like this approach because it's so easy and I don't have to spend too much time on it. Perfect. And I guess there's always this difference of being a hobby baker and doing this on an industrial scale. Of course, you might want to do things differently.
That's 100%. That's 100%.
Okay, so we're making a freestanding loaf now.
Let's get it. All right, so
we do have a scale here. I think, by the way, a scale is probably the most important tool you want to have initially when making bread. Yeah.
In the beginning, I got like a bad advice. I mean, I have a friend who's a professional cook, but not a baker. Okay. So she's like, Anatoli, just everything go by feel. Like, just mix it up. If it feels good, it will feel good. Man, it was like a month. Like some bread. I mean, it all came out frisbees, but I remember like he gave me this advice, and I almost throw the dough through the wall because I used the right flour. So like no protein, it was like not, it was like basically you just like always stirring. Like it was, so it's a good advice. Always use, basically the moment I went to the scale and to the baker's math, things went like like, I don't know, one level up. So, all right.
Well, at some point, I think if you are a pro baker, you sort of know by the feel, so we're having a situation here.
This one is too big.
It's too big. Okay.
We need, I feel like if we would put something where we put this in the middle, that would be...
What about...
I mean... Okay.
Can we try this?
We now everyone knows that we're improvising. Or maybe we can... This one.
Typical software engineer.
Yeah. That's how we do it.
Full stack.
Full stack. All right. I'll grab this guy. So we need, I measure always 200 grams of, I mean, you can see, but so many bubbles inside.
Should I comment on it already? 200 grams?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it too much?
It's way too much.
Damn.
But you will do your bread.
Yeah, let's do it. Like, basically now it changes to, can we save it? I don't know why 200 grams. Again, like 200 grams, it's all because I saw it in some video and then basically iterated over and over it until I got something good looking, some sort of rice. So that's why it's just too many variables to change. Like a rye type, how many, like the rice time, like it's temperature. It's just, so that's why I kept it at 200 grams because I do it once a week, and if there's not many experiments I can do. Just sort of.
So you mentioned already baker's math. So bakers always like to use percentages when calculating ingredients. So let's say you have 1,000 grams of flour. Then you would calculate all the ingredients based on the flour. So 20%, that's what Anatoli is using right now. Yep. That would be 200 grams of sourdough starter. And how much flour do you actually want to use?
450.
450 grams.
Yes.
Okay. So normally what I do is, how much in percentage is that now? How much starter percentage? That's like 30%?
Something like this. 10, 500, yeah.
So I typically go for 10%. So I might be using, for the same dough, I'm going to be making the same dough, and I will be using way less. I will just be using 50 grams of sourdough starter.
So interesting. All right, so the starter is here. So what I usually do next, I put water in, I give it a mix, give it a stir, then I put 10 grams of salt in, and just mix it in, and then I add flour.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Let's do it like
that. And I usually, in the beginning, I never put the tear button, so I always just keep adding it in my head. Okay. And then one time I was just doing this, and then my partner asked me something, and I answered, and I remembered everything, forgot everything. I was like,
and then the scale turned off.
Yeah, and one time, this thing happened to me as well. It's just, always click a button, go to 0, and then, it's, you'll save yourself, I don't know. It doesn't happen often, but it feels terrible when you forgot the number. Oh, the water is a bit warm. Is it special warm or?
So that's room temperature, a bit more warm than room temperature, I would say. So Anatoli used around, please guys, correct me in the comments, I'm really bad with percentages, but I think it's like 30% of
okay, a bit less, but yeah.
And the problem with that is that you are introducing a lot of already fermented flour, and sourdough bread is about finding this perfect sweet spot between fermenting enough but not fermenting too much, especially for this kind of freestanding bread that we're making. And so by using 30% of starter, you already introduce a lot of this fermented flour, and if the starter is not in the perfect conditions, which is always very hard to achieve, that means you're playing a very dangerous game, because it might be that you are over-fermenting your bread, and your bread is going to ferment much faster compared to my bread.
Wow, it's so interesting. Okay, I have already trillion questions to follow this up. When you say perfect condition, does it mean this 2 times rise? When it's the starter is at the maximum activity, or what does it mean?
So that's very hard to answer, and I guess it also depends from starter to starter. Everything depends, I guess.
Yeah.
The starter is going to grow and increase in size, and at some point the food is going to be exhausted and it will start to collapse again, because also the microbes in the starter have digested a lot of the gluten, so it can't hold its structure. It's going to collapse again. And at that point, the sourdough starter becomes a bit more inactive again. The bacterial part of the starter becomes a bit more active, whereas the yeast part of the starter becomes less active. So initially the yeast part is more active, and then the bacterial part becomes more active because the bacteria produces a lot of acids. So they thrive in a very acidic environment, whereas the yeast does not like the acidic environment too much.
Damn. Okay. Wow, it's so interesting.
By using the very ripe starter, it means that you have a bit more bacterial activity in the dough that you're making, and that means that it might be that the bread is not getting as fluffy as it could be. You would have a more sour tang, a more sour flavor to it, which I personally think is great. But at the same time, it's this play of different textures and consistencies, and you might be missing out a little bit on that fluffiness, which I really think makes sourdough bread so great.
Wow, that's crazy. Like, it's so interesting. So basically, I'm just literally using too much.
Correct.
And it's like basically a way harder to control because, wow.
So by using more starter already, you are also increasing the, so you're lowering the time it takes for the dough to ferment because you have more microbes to begin with. So your dough will ferment way faster than my dough. And at the same time, there are enzymes in the flour which convert the flour as well. And this reaction will not keep up with the pace at which your microbes are consuming your flour.
Wow. That's crazy science. I've never heard that before. Maybe I haven't watched all videos. Okay. But, okay. So now basically the starter is absolutely liquid. So that's what I guess how we want it. So it's like mixed super perfectly with the flour. It's just basically water. It's just like muddy water. So that's the consistency I wanted because I guess we really want to mix all the starter with all the flour.
It looks a bit like the River Elbe that flows through Hamburg.
Oh, really? Is it that dirty? That's good. So this is how it looks like. All right, I'll just keep this one here. And now we add in 10 grams of salt.
10 grams of salt? Yep.
Perfecto. Let's go. Regarding the salt, I've read, I mean, at home I never use salt with iodine. So, because I feel like it kills bacteria, right? So it kills yeast and everything.
So the more salt you add, of course, it's going to inhibit yeast and bacterial growth. There's this one big myth that some people like to add the salt at a later stage. And I have done a lot of tests and I cannot confirm that this is the way to go. I personally like to mix everything together right away because I feel it saves a lot of time.
Yeah, 100%.
And personally, I think it would also make sense to put some salt into your sourdough starter or to take a little bit of your dough that we're about to make the next starter. Because you are now introducing did you ever use salt for your sourdough starter?
No, never. First time I heard. Wow.
So your sourdough starter doesn't know salt. Now you're throwing it into an environment and it's suddenly salt. It's like, oh, what's this? That's there. There's salt.
But then it means that the bacteria will kind of mutate, you know? That's great.
You have to train your sourdough starter in the environment that you want it to ferment in later on.
Makes sense. So it's not a Brad Pitt, it's a Terminator.
Yeah.
P3000. Like younger audience is like, wait, what's the Terminator? Like after you turn 30, like all the 20-year-old people are like, wait, Terminator? Never heard of it. All right, so the salt is dissolved. I mean, I add salt at this stage just simply because it dissolves quickly. I believe if you add it when it's already like firm, like probably like you will have crystals of salt, which is kind of weird. All right.
So it depends a little bit on the salt. If I have very fine salt, I add it directly with the flour. But if I have like sea salt, then I like to dissolve it first too because.
Oh yeah, because you have crystals. Yeah. I always use like a plain table salt. Like, all right, so starter is in, water is in. I sometimes, what I noticed, it's my experiments, if the water is warmer, then you have way more like rise and bubbles. Because when I started, I just mixed like, I don't know, because this water feels a little bit warmy, like, and I have this kind of like, I don't know, kettle with the temperature. So I set it like 27, 28 degrees. I add it in, and then I just see bubbles like 1 hour later, like a big bubbles on the dough. And I feel like it's a good sign. Because like when I use kind of like coldish water, it was like sometimes even no bubbles in the beginning. And I was like, man, like I'm doing something completely wrong. So I feel like warmer water helps.
So warmer water is going to increase the speed of fermentation.
Yeah.
The problem though is with your 30-ish% sourdough starter, your fermentation is already quite fast. And by using warmer water, it's going to be even faster.
Yeah.
So you want this natural degradation of the flour with the enzymes converting the flour.
Okay, wow.
And of course, that's also going to speed up by using warmer water. But with your rate of fermentivity, the fermentation of the microbes is way faster than the enzymes being converted.
Yeah, okay. So actually I'm making it even worse.
You're making it even worse right now. I would offset actually your 30%. So you can offset, you can fix everything, of course.
Yeah.
What I would do in your case
You mean with flour, with more flour?
With either more flour, or you could just use cold water.
Oh, okay.
So you're using 30% of starter, but you're using cold water. So then, of course, this is going to slow things down. That could actually be a good dough to ferment in the fridge, maybe for a long period of time, if you wanted to.
So interesting. So interesting. I feel like we should, because we will have like 2 loaves, like your loaf, my loaf. I feel like we should like just keep it as I always use it, just to kind of show the difference in the end.
Yes.
All right. Please. Okay. Wow. But I already learned so much. Damn it. Microbes? Yeast? What? I thought it's just yeast. Damn it.
I think that's the beauty of sourdough bread making, that every sourdough starter is unique. So Anatoli's sourdough starter might have completely different microbes than my sourdough starter, and it behaves different. And that's the beauty, but that also makes it so hard because you cannot just give a recipe. You need to build a recipe that works with your sourdough starter. Wow. So now you're adding
450.
You're using a very strong bread flour. So Anatoli is using Manitoba flour, which is sort of one of the most premium flours you can get from the Caputo mill.
Yeah,
from
Italian
It's
flour.
a very, very, very strong flour. So there's a high protein amount. It's a good flour to begin with baking, that's for sure. That's what I see what many Germans are doing wrong. We don't have that strong wheat flour here, and they are not using a strong enough flour. But for this freestanding loaf, you want to have a strong flour. Because it has more gluten, it can ferment for a longer period of time. Over time, the gluten is being degraded and degraded and degraded. Yeah. Ultimately, it's going to become a flat pancake. And you want it to degrade a little bit, but not too much. And by having more gluten to begin with, you can ferment it for a longer period of time and create more flavor.
It says 14 grams protein.
14 grams protein.
So basically, like I already told you my story, but I guess I can tell it on the camera. So a year ago when I started, I watched some video, I feel like it's called like Your First Sourdough Bread, like I don't know, millions of views, but it's made in the US. And the guy says like, yeah, just use your plain bread flour from the store, it's gonna be all right. So I went to our local supermarket and I got like, I don't know, Volcom wheat flour, and it came out like a pancake, like a frisbee, like a really flat, no rise at all. And I was like, that looks nothing as in the video, because in the video it just came with this like super crazy rise and ear and everything. I was like, maybe wrong flour. I went back, and there was like 10 types of wheat flour, rye flour, grab another one. It has a number on it, like 1050 or something. I was like, good. Same thing. And I've tried like literally, I feel like first 2 or 3 months of my baking, it was a nightmare. It was always flat. I mean, it was kind of like tasty, but like nothing, And apparently in Germany, all like basically, even the top protein content is like only like 7-8 grams. So there's no basically gluten to stitch together. And basically that's how I found you when I just Googled like, hey, how can I bake sourdough bread in Germany? And basically you said like, hey, use Italian flour, just more protein. And it just elevated my game overnight. It wasn't like a crazy rise or anything, but the first time it was something like fluffy, bubbles, and I was like, oh my God, like 3 months in vain. So flour is a big thing, and if you are somewhere in Europe, just check the protein content, and if it's below 10, I feel like it's going to be a hard time.
So there are ways, or there are hacks that you can use, of course, but for this freestanding loaf that we're about to make, like beautiful, nice, crisp crust, beautiful, fluffy interior, you want to have a strong flour.
Yeah.
by creating a sourdough starter that's a bit more stiff, which has less water. So Anatoli's sourdough starter has 1 part of water and 1 part of flour. By making it a bit more stiff, you're boosting the yeast part of the sourdough starter.
Yep.
You'll have more yeast activity, which means you'll have less of this gluten degradation.
Yep.
So by making a sourdough starter which is stiffer, you can also counteract low protein flours. So a stiffer stuff. For German flours, for the default German spelt flours or wheat flours, you will want to ideally use a stiff sourdough starter.
Wow, so it can be done. But like in Berlin, I guess in Hamburg as well, like there are this Zeitverbrot, like there are this kind of artisan like bread shops, and they don't have, I mean they use rye flour mostly, but it's always flat. Like there's nothing high-rise fluffiness, like it's tiny bubbles and stuff. So yeah, because I was on the search, like where can I find a proof, and yeah, so only the change into Italian flour like made a big difference. But now I'm like kind of like excited, like can I actually use like a normal German flour? Can I actually make it rise with like a stiffer starter?
Yes,
like
you can. It works.
Nice. Oh my god.
But it's a bit more complicated, and especially to get the fermentation right, that's the hardest part of making a sourdough bread. And you don't have a lot of room for error. And by using your 30% sourdough starter, you have effectively minimized the amount of error you're allowed to have for making a dough.
Damn it.
So you're playing a very dangerous
game, man. Oh my god. Wild. But I mean, crazy. How can you learn? Like, I mean, what I haven't tried to do is actually like, I don't know, ask ChatGPT, like what's the problem? Maybe we should do it, you know, like afterwards, just like ask and see if it can help us. All right, so at this point, so basically the dough is now like super shaggy, but there's still like a lot of leftovers left. So what I do, I usually just grab a scraper and I just kind of like bring it all together, and then I just use my hands to...
A scraper? What kind of scraper? Like this guy?
Yeah, kind of like this guy. Yes. And then I basically, maybe we can have a bowl like with water. Like I usually like water my hands, and then I just go in and just I put a timer to like 3 minutes and pretend I'm a mixer. And then
sounds good.
Just do this. So
then I'm just gonna get you some water. Why are you using the scraper?
So because like even like if you mix it into like a smaller IKEA bowl, you still have a lot of flour left on the walls, and it just kind of feels like a waste to me. So I just try to scrape it in. So there's basically like also like less cleaning. So okay.
It's so interesting to see how you're doing things.
Yeah.
I'm wondering when is the best way to comment on a few things. I mean, I also don't want to sound like a douche, because no matter what kind of bread you're making, we're being super elitist about the perfect bread, but no matter the level of bread you're making, every homemade bread is a win. So that's sometimes some people feel discouraged because they see these perfect loaves on Instagram or YouTube, and then they have anxiety about bread making. But bread making should be fun.
Yeah, I mean, I studied physics, so I'm like for me it's an experiment, and it's just like a chemistry lab I have in my kitchen. It's also tasty. Like all my friends, like visiting us on Saturdays, it's like, oh, it's so fun. It's like I don't know, it's really, how I say it. It's an activity I'm like looking forward to. I'm pretty sure like the first time you will bake, it'll probably be terrible.
Okay.
So just you need to like lower your expectations, and I kind of knew that I'll be struggling a lot, and it took me March, April, May, June. Only in June I switched to that flour, and actually bake my first like, oh my god, it's so good. So. But now I'm also like teaching friends, and I'm giving away all my like learnings. And usually the second loaf already comes pretty nice. So that's kind of what we're doing here, to sort of minimizing that learning curve.
And isn't it sort of fun about humans that we are able to give our knowledge to other people? And now you guys are watching this on YouTube and you're seeing what we're doing. And we can, rather than writing a book, you can just sort of watch and learn.
Absolutely.
And you're so much faster. Imagine you would have had done this 100 years ago. It would have been a bit more challenging to get all this information.
Actually, like quite interesting. Like, I feel like 100 years ago, there was this concept of like mastery, where you would have an apprentice.
Okay.
And so I feel like there's no more culture of apprenticeship. Like even in software engineering, you just go to like freaking, I don't know, like ChatGPT and like it does everything for you. And I feel like we don't live in the small communities anymore, right? So I feel like this apprenticeship thing is really kind of getting lost, but kind of reviving it here. All right, so now that thing, I mean, if you want, you can grab my phone and so we can give an idea of what's going on here.
Then I'm just gonna...
So the dough is coming together, like you already can feel the tension, so it's not like you cannot tear it, like it's very, very elastic. And I usually like just give myself like maybe 3 minutes, and I just basically, when I already feel like it's very, 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 I say it feels like rubber, then I know that, okay, it's probably good enough. Yeah, and I always do it with one hand because I know that like this hand will look pretty messy. So I usually do it with one hand. Water helps a little bit, like so I just dip my fingers just a little bit so it's not that sticky. But yeah.
Do you also use a stand mixer? Have you tried using a stand mixer?
No, that's my basically. I have a list of experiments. So my next experiment is using a fermentation chamber because in my kitchen right now it's like 19 degrees, and I know that like it takes more than 7 hours right now to get some sort of like rise, even like 30% rise.
Really?
Yeah, like it's super slow. And yesterday I was baking for a friend, and I just put hot water in the pan and put my bowl on that pan with hot water. It just made crazy difference. Like it's like this big of a bubbles like form on the dough, and I was like, wow, I have to now try that because like I've seen people talking about fermentation chambers. So I found yesterday your video from 6 years ago. Like you made this Arduino crazy Python thing, like clearly engineering at its best. But now I just ordered on Amazon like the foldable fridge for €20 and like this heating pad with the thermosensor for like another 25. So it's 45. Actually, no. So I feel like it's 50. I don't know, 50.5 euro for the whole thing. But basically, I feel like it'll just speed things up and make it more controlled, I guess. Yeah. But my next idea is to use a mixer because I have fun baking. I have fun like putting this in the tray, like seeing in the oven thing. But I feel like mixing this initial 3 minutes, it's not that fun anymore. So I'm ready to kind of skip it, use a mixer, and yeah, just.
How many loaves would you say you have baked so far?
I know, because I bake every Saturday, so it's been a year, so 52, but I was on vacation maybe like 3 or 4, like a couple of times, so I feel like I skipped maybe 4 or 5 weeks, so yeah.
And you made 50 of them by hand?
45, yeah, 45 by hand.
So that's one of the misconceptions, I think. You really don't need a stand mixer, and actually I think what you're doing is super great. Yeah. So you are sort of getting the hang and the feel of the dough.
Yeah, oh absolutely.
And that's something you will not have with the stand mixer.
Yeah. But I see you have one. Like, do you use it in your like?
No, never. I only use it when I let's say host a pizza event and I might make 50 pizzas or so. Those for 50 pizzas, then I'm using it because it's just too much effort. But for my daily bread, I never use it.
No, wow, it's so cool, so good.
Because I feel that we can also improve the mixing process a little bit. It looks a little bit messy for you right now, but I'm just gonna let you do it, and then we can see how I'm doing it.
Let's do it. So basically now I'm finished, so my 3 minutes are done. So the dough, I feel like it came together super nice. Like it's very, very like
looks good.
Yeah, it looks good. It's very, very elastic. And now,
can you already get the Windowpane? Do you know what is? Do you know about the Windowpane test?
Yeah, actually, I've seen it in a couple of videos, but I've never. I sort of don't do this. But what usually how it works? Like I just kind of do this, and it kind of tears apart, right?
Yes.
So we are not there.
The gluten still needs to develop.
So it means we need to mix more, or we just need to kind of because I leave it for like 20-ish minutes.
Perfect.
And then mix it more.
Yes, that's exactly the way you want to do it. So you could, of course, continue mixing now, but it would be in vain. The best thing you can do now is wait 20 minutes. I like to wait 15 minutes. I always have a hard time pronouncing 15.
15?
Did you understand 50 or 15?
Yeah, 15. Yeah, 15.
15. Okay.
I mean, there's no way we're waiting 15 minutes.
So yeah, okay, that's looking great.
I mean,
perfect.
Can you, but with a standard mixer, I assume if you like would mix it with a mixer for like 15 minutes, you would actually have like a nice window pane thing and everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
The problem though is you also don't want to over mix the dough. I mean, really physically over mixing is very hard, but what happens now is you're building a gluten network. That's the basis for the freestanding bread. But the more you mix, the tighter that network is going to become, and you will be losing some of that fluffness you could in theory have.
Okay.
So if you're making the gluten too tight, then that's also not a good idea.
Interesting. So basically, you go from like you're kind of skipping steps. So you go to like a super rubbery thing
Exactly.
in like 15 minutes. Wow. Okay.
And I mean, over time, the microbes are again going to digest some of that gluten, so that effect is going to be limited. But still, it might be too much.
All right. So, anyways, I'm kind of trying to clean mess off of my hands. So, yes, I just usually like
Then we're gonna wait 15 minutes. Now we're gonna cover that.
Perfect.
That's I think something you really want to do is cover it and make sure that you. That it doesn't dry out. I think that's the worst thing.
Like at home, I use IKEA mixing bowl, and I just have a towel, and I don't know, like put some hot water on it, make it wet. Because I kind of noticed that basically if I use like a dry towel, like a cover, the top of the dough kind of becomes a little bit crusty. So I'm just trying to get this humidity up. Just warm towel, also like kind of warms it up a little bit. But I assume, like, I don't know, like that. Actually, for me, it's also quite nice to see like how the dough will feel.
So let's make another dough. So you use 500 grams of flour, right?
450.
450. Okay.
Yeah.
I am also going to be using I'm going to be using a bit more. I just like to use 500 because the math is a bit easier. So I'm going to be using a Caputo flour too, as a wheat flour. It can be any other wheat flour as well. I just happen to have this at home.
It has 12.5 grams of protein.
So yours is even a bit stronger.
Mine is a bit stronger. Yeah.
So by default, you have a bit more gluten, so your dough is going to be stronger. You will have more oven spring, but at the cost of maybe it not being as fluffy inside as my flour.
I already doubt the oven spring because of what we learned about my percentage is too high. So let's see. And you start with the flour.
Yes.
Interesting.
And personally, I don't like to make bread which is completely white. I really enjoy if there's also a little bit of whole wheat or whole rye inside. I really feel that elevates.
So you're mixing rye flour and wheat flour?
Yes.
So it's not a sin? It's a...
No, not at all.
Okay.
So for French bread, it's very, very common to add around 20% rye.
Wow.
And I'm going to be adding 20% of whole wheat inside now.
All right, so we had 500, and this rye flour.
This is a whole wheat flour now.
It's a whole wheat. Okay. And it's like a. Is it also a Caputo or it's like a regular?
So that's from one of my favorite mills from Italy. They're making really, really nice whole wheat flour, and actually you can take this flour and you could make the whole bread with 100% whole wheat flour, and it would behave the same way as white flour.
Wow.
I do have a mill myself, but I'm still not there yet that I can say I'm milling my own flour in a sufficient way. I still need to do a lot more experiments. I feel it also has something to do with how the flour is being matured. Because flour is typically matured in these paper bags.
Matured, you mean like it's milled and then like kind of sits in the bag?
Exactly. Yeah. I still need to do some research, so if you guys know a bit more or you can share what works for you, please do that in the comments. But I still need to experiment a bit more with milling my own flour.
I love that you also have something to learn still, like after all these years.
The funny thing is, the more you know about making bread, the less I feel I know.
Yeah.
I just know how much non-knowledge I have, sort of.
Yeah.
Now I'm also going to be adding 10 grams of salt, 2% baker's math. So that's the default European Union recommendation for the amount of salt you should be adding to your baked goods. Some people like to go a bit higher, some people like to go a bit lower. It depends on what you like.
I've tried 8, I've tried 12. I didn't notice any difference.
Okay.
So I just go 10 again. 10, just easy to remember. Yeah, 10 grams. One of my next experiments is to use it's a flour from Denmark. I forgot the name. It's like, it has this like a nice purple bags. But in Berlin there's a very nice bakery. So if you're in Berlin, go to Sophie. It's an amazing wheat bread, picture perfect. I mean, €10 a loaf, but they use this Denmark flour, and it's just wow, gorgeous.
Okay.
So and I'm left with, I feel like I have maybe 2 more bags of Caputo, and so next one I'm switching to Denmark as well, and also experimenting. Wow.
So oh wait, that's a bit too less. If you want to make a freestanding loaf, you really want to pay attention to having a strong flour. But if you're okay with making bread inside of a loaf pan, you can use every flour that's out there. You could make it 100% whole rye. The whole process would be way easier. That's my sort of go-to loaf for daily bread.
It's just
making.
because the bread basically has nowhere to go.
Exactly, it has the support from the loaf pan.
Yeah.
And you can also make gluten-free bread completely, so that works with the loaf pan. Loaf pan bread, easiest bread you can make for daily consumption. This, I would say though, if you host guests and you serve this type of bread, people will be in love with you because it's just beautiful to look at already.
I mean, also if you have a small toaster at home, I mean, you have to bake pan bread because like the big one won't fit in the toaster. So
So now I'm going to be adding my starter. I always like to check for bubbles on the side of the container. That's
like
a good
your
indicator.
bubbles look so different than my bubbles. You have like a half 7-8 millimeter bubbles, like super big across the whole surface. And mine, you saw like mine starter had like I mean, okay, it was shaken on the train and everything, but it was like a way smaller bubbles and not all the way up.
And I like to take the smell of it, and it has this nice, if you smell it,
it's like completely different. Like
slight
this one,
sour flavor, right?
Yeah, it's a kind of. I recently tried this special type of white wine. It's really like kind of same fruitness, like wine type fruitness. Wow. So
and what I like to do, I mean, I wouldn't recommend everybody to do it, but
wow.
I sometimes like to.
Can I do it?
Yes.
Let me try to do it. Wow.
Just take a little bit of this.
It's actually the first time ever I'm trying a raw starter.
And you can now use your.
Wow.
That's how your bread dough in the end, shortly before it's ready to be baked, should also taste like.
So good.
I mean, this is a tiny bread dough.
Wow.
We could just mix a bit of salt inside and bake it in a pan too. And the thing you need to consider now is how ripe is my sourdough starter? In which state is it? Is it all sort of in a late state where it's already very sour, so the flour is fermented a lot, or is it still in an earlier state? I would say it's still in an earlier state. It can ferment for a bit longer, so I'm safe to add more of this to my dough. If it was in a later stage, I would add less of it, because then I already have a lot of pre-fermented flour that I'm introducing into my dough. So in this case, my default ratio is 10% based on the flour.
10%. And the sourness, you gauge it by smell or by
smell.
So it's not about like 2 times rise or anything. It's literally like it has no sour. Like the smell is very sweet, I would say, like sweet flour, but no sourness there.
And also the size increase, because what's going to happen is this is going to increase in size, and at some point it's going to decrease in size, and that's the time when it also starts to become more sour.
Exactly. All right.
So I could easily introduce already 20% of starter into this.
Because it's like young, basically, and not sour. Okay.
But in summer times, I wouldn't do it because the fermentation would be too fast. I'm always trying to aim for roughly 10 hours of fermentation time.
Wow, 10 hours, okay.
And you can adjust that by using warmer water, using more starter, less starter. So these are the variables that you can have a look at to evaluate that.
Wow, okay.
Because I really want this, the moment I add water to this flour mixture, the enzymes are going to be activated, and that starch starts to be converted inside of that flour. And over time, you're not eating raw flour, you're eating already a naturally converted product. That's the secret also of the Neapolitan pizza. You want to have a long, slow fermentation. And even when you're just making yeast-based doughs, which is totally fine, you just really want to aim for that long, slow fermentation, because these enzymes will start to convert your flour, which creates superb flavor. It makes it also a bit more easy on the stomach, I feel, to eat the dough in the end.
Do you know how long is toast bread fermented for?
Which one?
Toast bread.
You mean like a sandwich loaf?
Yeah.
Probably like an hour.
Yeah, exactly an hour. It's called, damn it, what's it called? Just Winchester something process. It was developed in England after the Second World War. It's terrible. Like when you read what goes into toast bread, oh my God. But it's literally 1 hour. And from raw flour to bread to loaf, it's 3 hours. To like package loaf.
That's very, 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 very fast.
That's insane.
But I mean, even if you make that kind of bread at home, no judgment. Every homemade bread is better than bread that you're getting from one of these industrial large bakeries. Okay, so now I'm going to be just adding, in your case, you added roughly 250 grams of sourdough.
200.
200,
I had
right,
200.
200. And I'm going to be adding just 50 grams now. And I'm not being...
We're not mixing yet, but you can see how thick your starter is. Like mine was, like very, because it has 100%, 50% water. It was kind of like flowing almost, and yours is just like a
blob,
gooey blob. Exactly. Wow. I'm glad I filmed it. I'm glad I filmed it.
And so now that's a bit more. I accidentally used 58 grams of sourdough starter, but that's not that big of a problem because it's still in an early stage, so it doesn't really matter if I introduce a bit more or a bit less. Yeah. But especially if you're getting started, I really recommend to pay close attention to the quantity so that you can reproduce.
Yeah, it's funny. Like we're in the basically first stage of baking, and we already like went to completely different roads. But that's amazing. Like that's why I'm here. Like I'm already like that's what I'm doing next Saturday. Like doing this. That's just amazing.
I would say the biggest difference so far is first your sourdough starter, that it's very liquid, and the amount of sourdough starter that you used.
Yeah.
Flour-wise, I think your dough is perfect. Yeah. So now I'm going to be adding water.
Okay.
And you used quite a lot of water for your flour, which works for your flour. Your flour is very strong. The higher the amount of gluten, the higher amount of bran towards whole wheat, the more water it can soak up. But I really like to go very easy on the amount of water. I prefer to use way less water.
Like what's the baker's math on it?
So 60 to 70%.
70. Okay.
So that should be, let's do 70%, which is a bit more. And that's going to be 350 grams.
I remember my first, it's sad to admit, but I had to discard my very first bread because I went rye flour, so it means no protein. 80% fermentation, because again, this guy in the video was doing 80%.
80% hydration, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was just mud. Like it was unworkable. I was so angry that nothing was working. I just threw it away, and I have to confess.
With rye flour, you can't develop this gluten network, so
there's nothing.
The only thing you have to do is mix it together. That's all you have to do. But no kneading whatsoever.
I tried rye bread, so actually like I tried 50-50, like 50 wheat, 50 rye bread. Also like I feel like the main difference to me is like, okay, you don't have like with rye you can't have like big bubbles, but the bread, like the taste is a bit different and it actually stays softer way longer. So basically wheat bread, I think like 24 hours, 84 hours after baking, wheat bread starts like to develop this crust, like how is it, like it's get like kind of old, like and rye bread I feel like can hold it way, like can be fresh longer. Is it a rye bread?
No, that's actually a wheat bread, a fail, and it's already 2 months old.
I'm afraid I'll just break it.
No, that's okay.
It sounds like a rock.
It's sort of a rock. So
can you hear it?
When I bake, not everything turns out all right. I'm storing it here because I want to soak it up in water. And see if I can sort of turn it fresh again. Yeah.
Wow. It feels like a rock, baby. It feels like it's a relic, I don't know. But smells very nice.
Yeah.
It's good. I feel like if you leave like a supermarket bread, it will just develop all sorts of like mold and everything. Yeah.
Yep. So with the sourdough bread, you have this acidity, so the pH value is lower.
2 month bread, I feel like you can eat it. Like if you just put a little bit of water.
Put a little bit of water, bake it. That's what I want to experiment on.
No, I mean, it is kind of heavy. It feels like it's dehydrated.
Yeah.
But it smells beautiful. That's basically one of the differences between like supermarket bread and the freaking like
Yeah.
natural water salt.
It's crazy,
flour
right?
bread. It's amazing. Wow.
If we were to build a pyramid now, maybe we could bury this bread in the pyramid.
Yeah. it feels like it came from it. I'll just put it right here. It's
Nice.
like a modern art.
Let's go now and mix that dough together. I'm just going to take my hand and I'm just going around the container. And my aim here is really to just incorporate
Okay, so
all
no
the ingredients.
scrape or nothing. You just all in
like
with
this.
your hands right
All
away.
in with my hands.
Okay. I already can see that your dough is drier, because basically when I put everything together, it's kind of stuck together, and I see that you basically like a lot of flour is still.
Your dough was way more liquid,
Yeah.
which you can do, but I think that's expert mode. So
Yeah.
especially when getting started, make sure to use less water, because
Yeah.
people are saying, but then the bread is not going to be as fluffy. Not true. If you time the fermentation properly, you can also make excellent fluffy sourdough bread like this from stiffer doughs.
Yeah. I basically did a lot of fails on 80%, unless until I discovered the lamination. So basically, you kind of stretch the dough super thin on the table, not paper thin, but basically I don't know, as far as you can without tearing it up. And then when it kind of really comes together and becomes very stiff. So, but without lamination, it's really hard. If you just do your folds, after 5 hours, it'll be still super liquid, and somewhat the lamination thing helps. I feel like I'll do lamination with mine, so we'll see it in an hour probably, something like this. Nice.
And we're done.
It's very stiff. Oh my god. And okay, so you clearly didn't mix it super thorough.
No.
And you're done.
Done.
Damn it.
So you spent, how much time did you spend?
5 minutes, I feel like.
How much time do you feel did I spend on the dough?
Okay, I see 150, but clearly, 1 minute probably. Wow, and everything's super clean. Damn it. No scraper needed.
Because I'm using less water. That's the root of so many issues, I feel, using too much water. I mean, of course, my hand is still a bit dirty.
Yeah.
And
okay,
maybe it's me being German. I would feel bad at just tossing all this away for my homemade bread. Of course, when I give customers, I don't scratch my hands off like this, but at least for my own private bread, I use the leftovers and put them into the dough.
Makes a lot of sense. I've tried to use different spatulas, and this is the instrument that works best, because
And when people tell me I need a stand mixer because it's so much work, okay, I understand the point that my hand is now a mess.
Yeah.
But how much work was this?
No, it was
1.5 minutes maybe.
1.5 minutes, yeah.
That's all the kneading that I'm gonna do.
It's very cool.
And I normally make 3 kilograms of flour at the same time, so I'm going to be making a lot more doughs, because then it's even less work. So of course, if I just make one dough, I have to do all that kneading for one particular bread. But if I make 6 breads at the same time, then it's a lot less work that I have to do per bread.
But do you just wait? You do 6 breads just for you?
Yes.
And do you eat so much bread?
So what I typically do is I bake 6 breads, and then after they are done baking, I slice them, and then I just put them in my freezer, and then I have bread for, I don't know, 3 weeks or so. I sometimes gift some to my family, some to my friends. Then I just toast the bread and have fresh bread on a daily basis.
I need to see that oven, but is it one after the other, or you have an oven for 6?
That's what I like to use the loaf pans for.
Okay.
So with these loaf pans, I can just stack 6 of them into my oven at the same time.
God. Crazy.
If I were to use a Dutch oven, I could just bake 1 bread at the same time. But if I use my inverted tray method, I can bake 2 breads, 2 freestanding loaves at the same time.
Wow, that's unbelievable. Wow, I'm learning so much. Damn it.
Okay, nice. Then
I love your process. It's really way less messy, super quick. Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing.
A bit easier, right?
Yeah, a bit easier. I was wondering how far are we going to be? And I feel first step we're already amazing, freaking amazing.
And now that's the foundation of the dough, right?
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
And your foundation is very different. I would say my dough is, let's say, level 10 baking is the best you can do. My dough is level 6 baking. It's an easy...
6?
It's an easy all-round dough. I could turn this into baguettes. I could turn this into a pizza. I could turn this into sandwich bread, into bread rolls. This is the same recipe, pretty much.
Yeah.
Your dough is level 10 expert mode.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. I mean, I guess the result we'll see, but wow. Okay. Damn.
So you have created yourself a situation.
But isn't it crazy? It's just because I watched the first video I watched like a year ago had these proportions, and I kept them and I tried to improve them, and I got somewhere. But damn it, you see, like you chose one wrong video and freaking went completely different direction. Isn't it crazy?
I think that's totally crazy. And we engineers, you probably did that to A/B tests to test different variables. And the problem now is, of course, because your foundation is bad and you do A/B tests, you're doing A/B tests on a bad foundation.
Yeah. I mean, I've tried Dutch ovens, as I said, like different fillings, different like mixing methods, but I've never changed the, basically like in this video, it says like, you want fluffy, use 80%. And I was like, kind of makes sense. It should be more liquid, more air bubbles. It kind of makes this kind of sense to me, and I never changed it, but damn, I wonder like how it will look tomorrow, like how different it will look. Oh my God. All right, we're back.
What are we gonna do now?
So the dough is getting together, and it's the first stretches that I do. You see, like my dough really went wide. In your dough, I feel like it's the same as it was before. So this
one looks more like a blob.
Yeah.
This one holds together a bit better.
Yeah. And I already see like this one is a bit smoother. Like and what I do now, I can't remember, like it's not coil fold, I guess it's like stretch and fold. So I water my hands a little bit, and then I grab it from one side. You see, like it's super elastic now, and I just slap it back, and then I go from the other side, slap it back, water my fingers a little bit, go from another side, slap it back, and then I do this until the dough really feels like a ball, because right now it's like super elastic, and with every stretch I feel like more and more tension. So, and then at some point I feel like the dough won't allow me to stretch it, and this is, I know, like basically like 8 stretches maybe, and this is, I know that okay, it came together.
It came together.
So one more, in order to feel like okay, I cannot stretch it as far.
And that's good. What you're doing, so you're taking the dough, you're stretching it very far, and this means you're gluing the dough together with a lot of surface.
Yeah. So, boom, you see the last stretch was maybe like 8 centimeters. The first one was like 20. So, and now I'll just grab a scraper and just bring it, like kind of collect all the leftovers into the bowl as well. So they become part of the final dough. All right, and we're good.
So now what you want to do is to test whether your gluten or fermentation developed. Now do the Windowpane test.
So
with wetted hands. Yep.
It's actually like the first time I'm doing this. I don't do this, but as far as I know, you just need to grab it with like 4 fingers and then stretch it. And you see,
and
okay,
that looks nice.
It kind of torn, but I feel like it's way more elastic. It's like super thin, and in my hands it really feels like a film. Yeah. So I feel like it.
That dough has come together, and you didn't even do anything like lamination, bench kneading, these kind of things.
Yeah,
not
yet.
It's looking good.
And we even, no bubbles yet, because I also kind of gouge it. When I start seeing bubbles, it means, okay, that thing gets active. Right now, there's no bubbles. It just went from the shaggy thing into something smoother. And yeah, let's see.
There's kind of this misconception that by kneading, you're putting bubbles into the dough, but that really doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
You get these bubbles, you get this nice fluffiness from the fermentation, which is now starting. I mean, your dough is now fermenting. And yeah, let's have a look at my dough now. And first thing you can see,
man,
it doesn't fall out.
That's really funny.
I guess your dough would fall out, or?
In a second. Like, I wouldn't even try. Like, it's going to be a big disaster. Oh my God.
I'm going to be wetting my hands too a little bit. Wetting the hands is really always a good tip. Yeah. And now let's test the Windowpane first. No, wait. And you can see.
Wow. Oh my God.
Just by waiting. I feel so many people are doing this wrong. They're kneading.
Oh,
well, all you have to do is being lazy. Maybe I'm just a too lazy person.
I don't believe it. That's crazy.
This dough is already kneaded.
I mean, and it's clearly like your film was so thin. It was transparent basically, and it didn't tear. You saw like my teared up on the side. Oh my god, that is ridiculous.
And now this is also a trick, because if I were to knead it more, the gluten network would be even tighter, and the less water, the more tight the gluten network also becomes at some point. And the trick when making a stiffer dough is just knead it even way less. So you're sort of counteracting the lack of gluten.
Yeah.
So yeah, knead it way less, and it becomes as extensible as your dough.
I don't believe it. That's cheating. I mean, I love it. Oh my god.
So now I'm just gonna take this dough here, because it already looks nice. Oops. Turn it nice, smooth and round.
Yeah.
Because right now if you touch the dough like this, it's sort of sticky. But if it's nice, smooth and round, it's way less sticky, because there's less of a surface area that you're touching.
And we're just doing this, we didn't flour any surface, we didn't sprinkle water, it's just literally just a table.
Exactly. So this wouldn't, if I were to use flour now, it would just sort of roll over the table.
Yeah.
But because it's sticking here at the bottom, I'm able to drag it over itself. And look at this. This is already our dough.
And the surface, I mean, okay, now I feel like the close-up would make sense. Let's see if we can catch it. It is so smooth. It is like, I don't know, it's like marble. Wow, that's amazing.
And you can touch it and it doesn't stick.
It is so firm. Oh my god. I feel like that I already kind of know what will happen tomorrow. Because basically when I bake, I grab my dough out of the freezer, I flip it, I cut it, and then by the moment I put this in the oven, I already see that it starts to kind of like go sideways, like extend on the sides, and this one looks so firm. Like I don't know, like if on video you can see it, but it is like really, like when you moved it, it really feels like it's super thick. Crazy.
And this is, I think, what many people are doing wrong. They're not smoothing the surface. I think this is probably the most important technique you need to learn when making bread. And now it's not sticking. I can take it with my hands like this, and I'm just gonna put it back to my container.
So, Hendrik, may I try to do this?
Course,
and then you'll examine my.
That's actually a good point, because I feel many people are doing this wrong. Maybe let me just also quickly clean my hands, and maybe I can record with your phone real quick.
It's kind of like my favorite part of the process. Like a lot of people, like I know someone is doing woodworking. Some people do like how you say it, the things from. God damn it, what's the name? They make pots and stuff, pottery. Pottery. And like this to me is like very meditative. I like, you need to be very gentle, you need to be in the moment, because like if you're thinking about something else, you can like, I don't know, squish the dough or something. It's just my favorite part of the process, to work with the dough. So did this 50 times. Let's see how Hendrik will grade it. So again, I'm going from the sides, and then I'm pulling it towards myself. Oh, it's so cool. Like it really feels like a ball of rubber. It's so firm. It's like not a tennis ball, but like this rubber balls you do massages with. It kind of feels like that. It is so sturdy. Wow. And like when you do a side movement, and then when you pull towards yourself, you feel the tension. You just like kind of see it's getting like so, I don't know, like glazed. I don't know. Wow, that's amazing. And it's just, I don't know, I feel like now it's kind of, I will overdo it, but wow, it is so smooth on the surface. Unreal. It's like basically like at the table. It just feels exactly the same way. And the surface is very dry as well. Like it's not sticking. Like I can touch it with my hands, nothing sticks. It's like, I feel like that's the hardest part to convey on the video. Like you need to feel it, but.
So would you say,
wow,
this dough feels great?
Like I've never felt like, with my 80% hydration, I've never came close to this. Like it will feel smooth after elimination. It will feel something like this, but this one is firm. Like firm means like you touch it and it won't go down. Like it's super firm. And I already see first bubbles forming. Wow, that's unreal. That's crazy.
But your technique was also great. So I wouldn't change the technique. That was nicely done.
I mean, it's kind of easy. Turn sideways towards yourself. It's I feel like maybe first couple of times it was hard because again, my dough is super sticky. Like it has a lot of water, it's sticky, but with yours, it's just pleasure to work with, and nothing is left on the table pretty much. Wow. And it's done.
It's done.
So now we just leave it for 10 hours.
So now we just leave it for 10 hours, and whenever I see that this dough here is going to flatten out quite a lot, that's when I might be adding a stretch and fold, but that's probably just going to be maybe 1 or 2, depending on how much time we have.
So you would kind of check on the dough from time to time, and if it goes to the sides, then you would
do the stretch and fold. Okay. Exactly.
All right. But sometimes you just don't do it.
Sometimes I just don't do it. If I'm making that freestanding loaf of bread, I typically do it. But if I'm making bread for a loaf pan,
you just don't care, basically.
I just don't care.
Because technically it's about the shape. It's not about how it will ferment, right?
Yes, exactly. So adding a stretch and fold is going to give additional dough strength to the dough. So it's going to make the gluten network a bit tighter. Over time, the gluten network relaxes, and by giving more stretch and folds, you're adding more of this dough strength, which means the dough holds together more. It won't flatten out as much as a pancake.
Makes sense.
But what you can totally do is you can knead more initially, so you could knead your dough more, and then you begin with more dough strength to begin with, and you wouldn't need to stretch and fold as much.
Makes sense.
So, but by using a dough which is low in hydration, we automatically have more dough strength, and we have to knead less and do less stretch and folds. Yeah,
I still can't believe it. That is so smooth just by spending a minute mixing it and it's done. Wow, that's insane. So cool.
Okay, so now what are we gonna do next? Let me just quickly...
Because of my technique, this video might be very long. This is so funny, because usually I would wake up, I would mix the dough, and then I would set my timers. I usually have 5 timers. Basically, every half an hour, I would visit the dough. I would first stretch and fold, then I would do coil folds, then maybe, and then in the end, after 2.5 hours, I'll do lamination, and then when I form this kind of firm ball, and this is why I left it for like whatever, how many times, like how much time. Wow, that's unreal.
It feels a bit stressful, all the work you're putting into your dough.
I mean, because it's like timer, and the stretch and fold takes, I don't know, like 30 seconds. It doesn't feel stressful, but you need to be at home for 2.5 hours straight, and like you need to pay attention to the timer. Yeah, man, it feels like a lot of work.
Where did you pick up this process that it has to be done like this?
Again, it was basically like early on. Like I watched a bunch of videos and
somebody in these videos told you that's how you have to do it.
Actually, pretty much all videos. I mean, again, like all the United States, like videos that made in US, they all do like this 4 or 5 approaches to the dough to like do all those coil folds. But it's funny that just judging by the amount of bubbles and how the dough rises, I've never been able, even with the Italian flour, get that kind of bubbly insanity going on. So it was always like very modest, and you will see, I guess, like in 2 hours that we probably won't have this crazy freaking like rise and ginormous bubbles like forming. So yeah, let's see. But wow, just that.
So I think if you were to not touch your dough at all, then you would have an excellent ciabatta dough. The ciabatta is super airy and fluffy because the hydration is a bit higher, but then again, the dough is also not worked as much. Yeah. So by kneading it less, you had to have a dough which is more extensible. It can flow more, it can sort of flatten out a bit more, but at the same time, it also allows for more bubbles to be created inside.
Ciabatta is probably like my, like every week, for me, it's a new experiment. That's why it's like fun. Do this every week, and one of my next breads to bake, maybe like 5th experiment after the fermentation box and stuff, it's to actually bake ciabatta. And you just mix it, put this in the tray like that you will bake in, leave it for a day, then like pierce it with the fingers, put some, I don't know, like olives.
Focaccias, you mean?
Oh, focaccia. Yes. Oh, wait, focaccias. Wait, what's ciabatta then?
Ciabatta is just a very long...
this one. Okay, I see. Okay, I thought with focaccia is the same process.
It's a similar dough.
That you just leave it, mix it, and then...
And the trick is to touch the dough as little as possible for making a focaccia or a ciabatta.
Okay, nice.
So sometimes kneading less is more.
Yeah, crazy. It's 2 days ago I read Leo Tolstoy quote. It said basically to achieve more, you maybe need to stop doing things you're doing less. And I was like, it's good. See, like, he knew it.
Nice.
He knew it. All right, so
do you need the dough scraper?
No. Later, yes.
Okay.
So basically, when I do the final thing, I use the dough scraper to kind of transfer it to the.
Okay.
All right.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. We're kind of done. So we wait.
We now just have to wait.
Yeah, we just wait for basically. So this is our schedule.
Okay, so we're now going to wait for 13 minutes, then for 45 minutes, then another 1 hour and 15.
We need to approach it we just need to do 4 more stretches.
Okay.
So that's what we do, and each one would be, you know, like 30 seconds tops.
And why?
Do we need this?
Yes.
I don't know. I just watched the video. I mean, from experience, I kind of believed it because. I mean, I've never tried to do less, but I just saw that with every approach, it became smoother and smoother. Because right now, if you just look, you see like it's still very kind of rough surface. And yeah, like in the end, when I do the final like lamination, then wrapping it into a bowl, like it kind of resembles your dough. But right now, I feel like we're not there.
Yeah. I was asking because of this dough's high hydration.
Yeah.
You have to do a lot of stretch and folds. You also didn't need that much initially at the start. I would probably change the approach and just start kneading now for 10 minutes just to get a really tight gluten network. Yes. And then I would wait and then maybe do another stretch and fold. So knead a bit more now to get a lot of dough strength. I mean, it works too to set yourself the timers and apply stretch and folds like this. That works too. But probably I would just knead a bit more at the start and then I wouldn't need to follow the schedule.
Let's go off the rails. Because I know how the bread will look like if I just follow like my thing, it will be just the same. So, you know, like it's hard to expect a better bread if you just do the same stuff. So, you know what, let's do it. Let's ditch the timer and just basically, so we just knead it now and then 1 more time and we're done. Yeah, let's do it. Awesome.
Are you sure?
I mean, I say it, like I will probably like put a photo of my own bread. I have like a bunch of those. So they're pretty much just all the time pretty much the same. So you will see how it will look like. But I feel like let's experiment because otherwise it will be just the same.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
So now we have made a dough. It doesn't have that much dough strength. We did see a little bit of a Windowpane effect. Yeah. And now we're trying to improve its dough strength. Yeah. And my recommendation now for this dough, because you chose level 10 expert mode, I would now do a little bit of bench kneading. So I would just take the whole dough, put it right here on the table, and then knead it a little bit on the table.
Yeah, let's scrape this guy. All right.
Sounds good. You can give that to me.
This guy is done. Yeah, see, like it's very sticky. Like I touched it and boom. And it's on your hands, so unlike your dough basically, which was
a little bit of a mess.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a mess. So that's why, like this, you asked like why 5 stretch and folds. With every approach, it becomes less and less sticky.
Yes, you're creating more dough strength, it becomes less sticky.
All right, what are we doing? So are we doing coil folds or we just basically like do the ball rolling technique that you did?
So because we are making this freestanding loaf, so we want to have a bit more dough strength so that the dough holds together and grows vertically upwards in the oven. If I were to make a ciabatta, this dough would be fine. I would just be maybe giving it 1 or 2 more stretch and folds. I wanted to have sort of this consistency. Yeah. But since we want that freestanding loaf, we have to give it more dough strength. What I like about this dough already, if I'm looking at it, it sort of flows out a little bit, but not too much. So that's a sign that there's already quite some dough strength, which I think is because Anatoli used this super expensive Italian flour, which is like the top of the line premium level 99 out of 100 flour.
It's $2.29 on Amazon. So if you buy it in an Italian store, it's €5 or €6. But
so you use the best flour you possibly can, which I think is great if you're getting started to not save on the flour. Okay, so my recommendation would now be to, because it's so sticky,
It's already stuck. I already see that it also stuck to the table as well. I think like we have to use a scraper.
Yes, I would probably use a scraper, wetten the scraper a bit. I'll just show you the first one. Okay, I just go in here, taking dough, and I'm lifting it over.
Wow. Yeah, scraper helps. Like my life changed after I got the metal scraper. It's really like handling it, transferring it to the basket later. Yeah.
And now look at this.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome. Amazing. I mean, it's kind of smooth.
Nah, I think we still need to wait a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I just stretched the dough, and so it needs a little bit of time to heal itself. So we're just gonna let this sit now for 10 minutes, and then we'll come back and turn it into a ball. But maybe actually the best thing would be we just let it sit like this, and then you can try to do the same technique that I just did.
Perfect.
And we can observe that one more time and see how you do it.
So we kind of keep the timer on then, and when it drinks. Awesome.
And we'll just let it sit here now because it's not too hot. We don't have to cover it. We can just let it sit here for 10, 20 minutes without it drying out, and then we'll be
very like since you touched on like covering, like I experimented with like covers. So it's like when I covered with like plastic or like plastic lid, I feel like the top becomes a bit dry, and then you kind of need to break it when you fold it next time. Then I went to like wet cloth, kind of helps, but you just don't do anything. Like basically don't.
I just use a metal pot typically in which I ferment my doughs. I close it, but it doesn't dry out. You don't want it to be drying out because then you have these dry patches of dough in the final bread, and I don't really like that.
Yeah, they also like it's funny that you kind of see them after you bake.
Yes, they don't disappear.
Yeah. Also like you also can feel them like when you eat it.
Right?
It's not nice. Oh, cool! Like I also see the first bubbles. Nice. It's very good. Looks very good. And regarding the technique, it's the same thing. Basically, like with the scraper, it's just like with your hands. If you do this, it'll all be messy on the table. But with this guy, the scraper makes everything kind of clean and smooth.
For my dough, we could have done it without the scraper, but because your dough flattened out so much, it would have been I mean, my hands are a little bit of a mess. Yeah. They would have been even more of a mess if I 100%. Had done this without the scraper.
100%. Nice.
Okay.
Awesome. Then let's hit a pause. Nice. So it's been 15 minutes. So we just
50 or 15?
15. 15. So our timer just rang. So we are ready to do a little.
Some people always comment, "Oh, Hendrik, you can't comment on. You can't probably pronounce 15 or 50."
Yeah. 15.
I'm getting this on all my videos.
So it's like in German, the way you pronounce 13. It's also like or 30. 30. Or, but
13, 30.
Exactly. So you also have this sort of weird thing going on. All right. So what do we do? So we
do have a little bit of construction going on. I hope it's not too loud.
Yeah.
So okay, you wetted the scraper. What do you want to do now?
So with the scraper, so I will just like as I work with my hands, I will come from the side, go around, and pull it towards myself. Same, right? Same exact technique. I picked it up.
I'm just gonna take your video, your phone, and record real quick. Okay, continue.
Yeah, let's do it. So I'm going from the side. Got it.
That looks nice.
Yeah. You see, like it still sticks to the scraper. So and then I'll just do it a bunch more times. Whoop.
It sticks because you're not doing it fast enough.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. I see. Speed helps.
Yeah.
And I also see, like on the fourth time, it didn't leave a mark. Nice.
That's kind of hard too, right? That you need to roll it into the right direction.
All right, let's see if I can roll it. Oh! Did a little...
I really like the surface already. It's super nice and smooth. It's not sticky.
Yeah, nice. All right, and I feel like it's kind of enough probably, right?
Yeah, that's enough.
Nice. So
what I don't like here is that there are still some areas which are not smooth. You see these areas?
Yeah, it's because it's stuck to the scraper. All right, let's see the proper technique.
The problem is you can only do it so much. At some point the surface is going to tear. So it could be that we have to wait a little bit.
All right.
We'll just try. If it tears, it's no problem. We can just let it sit the surface is going to sort of heal, and then we can just give it one more shot.
Oh, nice. Okay. Wow. Okay, I had to be like really fast. Wow, I love it.
And you see the surface is nice and smooth.
Yeah.
We no longer have any of these.
Super nice.
You want to give it a shot one more time?
Yeah, okay, let me try. I mean, oh wow, that works. Oh my god. Man, this is so cool. I mean, you have to be really fast. Wow. I mean, it's not like meditation. You have to be like really all in. Wow, so good.
And that's why I like to make pizza, because when you're making pizza, you sometimes ball the pizza already directly after kneading the dough, and then you have, let's say you make 6 pizzas, you have 6 doughs to practice with, so you have a lot more room to practice. Now we're just making 1 dough, and of course you don't get to practice as much.
Yeah, I mean, it's like for me, baking is like literally a hobby, like kind of like a scientific hobby. So I do this test every week, and every week I try to do something different, like adjust something. But yeah, it's I mean, I wish maybe like I would bake like 100 loaves in a week. I guess I would learn so much, but it would also kind of feel weird, you know, like to push it. I love the space. Like once a week, just I know that every weekend I'll have some fun, I'll have something new. Yeah, but wow, that feels already so good.
And we can now see that this dough is not flattening out. You can see how smooth the whole surface is already looking, and it's not sticking. So I'm already very happy with this dough.
It feels like your dough, like on the surface. It's also a bit dry, not sticky. You cannot really push it in. It's kind of firm, but you see like it's already went a little bit to the sides. Like not crazy, but because your bowl was like kind of like a tennis ball. Like it's, oh, now actually they're pretty much the same in size. It's funny. But how to say it, like this guy went wide in half a minute, and yeah, nice. But the surface is perfect. So what do we do now? So we ditched all the timers, and we basically worked with it once. What do we do? Like we just wait an hour and do it again, or we say, hey, it's ready, let's just leave it to ferment?
So now it depends. If your dough is sort of flattening out way faster, then I would probably maybe opt for the lamination. I would maybe even opt for one more time bench kneading, followed by lamination, and a few more stretch and folds.
Bench kneading is the stuff
what we did initially, where I just sort of took the dough, folded over just a little bit. We did that with a dough scraper. But now I like this dough, how it's already looking. It doesn't flatten out way too much. So we're just gonna start with the bulk fermentation now. We're not gonna do anything else.
So we just transfer this guy over there?
We might have to do more stretch and folds on this dough, which is the high hydration dough, compared to the dough that I just made, because simply it will flatten out way faster.
I'm pretty sure like in an hour it will be like,
Exactly. So this dough is a bit more work while it's bulk fermenting, but I'm happy. And it's crazy how this flour, we didn't need it so much. It soaked up all that water and it already holds its shape.
Yeah, it's very, and it feels super awesome,
Okay, do you want to transfer it? Let's give it a shot. What would you do? Describe what you would be doing.
So we want the bottom to be the bottom here as well.
Yes.
So I would probably, because it's non-sticky now, I don't need to wet my hands or anything. I would just grab it from the bottom with a scraper, transfer it to my hand, and then flip it back here. No?
I would probably take it. That could be. I would probably just take it with a scraper and then place it directly inside. I wouldn't flip it or do anything to it.
All right.
We will try and see.
We might do it again. Okay, wasn't I fast enough? I guess I just didn't grab the whole thing, right?
It's really hard to describe. We first have to round it one more time.
Let's do it one more thing, and then we do that. All right, nice. That worked much better. All right. Man, but the first one was a little disaster. I tried to be fast, and then I was like, I did this, and then that, and okay. I guess I just need to go slower, wrap the whole thing, and then, okay.
How would you now, so now the bulk fermentation, well, it started already a bit before. How would you now proceed and check whether your dough is ready with a bulk fermentation, with the first stage of fermentation? What would you do? How do you measure it? How do you measure that you're
I just measure by time, like literally. Like have those timers, and I just follow the timers. I don't do anything else.
You're timing your bulk fermentation?
Yeah. You mean like okay, like you mean like when the, okay. So I actually learned this from one of your videos. So I tried, so basically,
What's the video? Okay.
The bulk fermentation means like when we're ready to transfer to the basket and then to the fridge. So when I started, I just tried to eyeball it. So I just like use my IKEA bowl and then I would just kind of gouge like, is it 2 times a reason or not? I can't even comment because you can't really measure this 2x. And because the bowl is rounded, it's really hard to say like when this 2x is. So then I watched some video and the guy was like, yeah, you need to have a transparent container with like marks on it. And then you just transfer your dough into the container and then you can be way more precise on like, when does this 2x happen? But I got this container and it's like very, you know, like
to work on it, isn't it?
And what?
It's very annoying to fold the dough inside of it, or?
Yeah, I actually didn't even fold the door. Like it was like I put it there. I feel like it's also kind of not possible because it's very narrow. But then it's pain in the ass to put it there, then get it out. Like I did it for 3 times and I was like, no, it's just like too much. And then you need to clean it. It's like too much mess. And then I saw your video where you came up with this glass, like a little glass jar where you just put a little sample in and then put a rubber band and you can just on the sample you can see that I feel like it's just perfect. It's so simple.
So you do that all the time?
I do this, yeah. Okay. I feel like I purchased these things via affiliate link or something.
Thank you so much. We could do the same now. I mean, it would be interesting to see how much faster your dough ferments in comparison to my dough.
Let's do it. But how would you? Because I kind of felt that you wouldn't use them for your dough.
Oh, that's actually a good question. The method here is really good when you're starting to make bread because you can really judge the fermentation, but it also has some issues. And the issues being that if the room temperature is different than the dough temperature, your sample is going to either heat up or cool down way faster than your main dough. So you might get wrong readings from this method. So you have to be a bit careful. That's why I personally now, when I'm making bread myself, I mostly just go by the look and feel of the dough. And I know it's roughly ready between 6 and 12 hours.
Okay, so just by look, and you know that at least 6 hours it needs, and then you kind of start picking and seeing.
Exactly, and because we used this low amount of starter and we didn't use too much water, I have way more room for error.
Yeah.
This dough, your dough, has way less room for error, so we have to find the right moment. Which I personally feel is a bit hard if you're just a hobby baker because you don't always have time to tend your dough all the time. You might be in a meeting and you're on a call. But then your dough is there and you know, okay, I only have 30 minutes to shape it. You're like, okay, thank you, bye. Because you have to go back to your dough.
Yeah, being on a schedule kind of like really limits you. So that's why a 1,000,000% I'm switching to your method. It's literally just like, you mixed it, you shaped it, you left it.
Okay, so now let's take a little bit of our dough and put that into our...
Do you want to film it? I'll show you my technique.
Okay. We'll put it into the Aliquot jar, which apparently is something I also can never properly pronounce.
Aliquot. Is like someone's last name?
Aliquot. This is a scientific term for this. Apparently, it's Aliquot.
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 But is this like a Greek for a jar, or like it's just like a last name of a scientist who like, I don't know,
Mr. Geoffrey Aliquot.
Geoffrey Aliquot, yeah. I mean, Petri dish. Petri is a last name, right?
Yes.
Yeah, like Petri. So Petri, we know that.
Okay, wow.
So maybe Aliquot. Like, who is Aliquot? tell us in the comments. So what I like to do, I just like pick up a side, and then I just quickly kind of squeeze it. Okay, maybe
that's a bit too much.
Maybe a bit too much, and then I sort of, and then I grab this sausage. I don't know. And then I'm trying to wait a little bit until it's like thins out, because you also need some time for it to land. And then I'm trying to be very precise and very still, so it doesn't stick to the sides. And then I'm just, okay, maybe I took too much, so I'll just cut it in half.
Being German, I love...
Okay, I already made a mess. Damn it. Okay. And then I probably use some, I don't know, like something to put it, to push it all the way down. Okay. Okay.
I really appreciate the reference to sausages because we Germans really love our sausages.
I mean, and especially living in Germany, I love German sausages. What's your favorite?
So each region is making different sausages. I kind of like the sausage that's not completely ground. Because, I mean, in the end, with sausages, you don't really know what you are eating. It could be anything, pretty much, which is also scary if you think about it. Yeah. So I really like it when you still sort of see some parts of the meat that's traditionally inside. Yeah.
Nice. Like what? Actually, it's very interesting because I feel like Thüringer sausage or like.
Oh, that's a very good sausage.
Thüringer. Yeah. It's kind of like. It's like Parmesan cheese. It's only allowed to be called Thüringen when it's made from this region.
Chef, this particularly. Yeah. Good job.
Yeah, I feel like we pressed it in super nice. I feel like if you left a lot of bubbles, then 2x won't be like it's hard to read this. Yeah.
And now we're just gonna mark that.
Yeah. I'm at home. I use just a rubber band, like a small rubber band, so I don't even need to.
Also works.
Right on it. Perfect. So we have a big.
What size increase are you going to be aiming for?
To be honest, like you mentioned that it's hard, like sometimes just by eye, I see that the dough definitely improve way bigger than the sample, but I aim at least for 30%. And
30%.
I definitely don't ferment it, like I always ferment it longer than 5 or 6 hours. That's just simple, like, I mean, right now it's kind of cold at home as well, and we don't like use a lot of heating, so it's like 19, 20 degrees. And yeah, it needs a lot of time to rise. So at least 6 hours, and then I aim for at least 30% increase above the mark.
So would you say something like this?
Something like this, yeah. But I never, and it's rarely I go like the sample goes beyond that. In my case, I don't know why. So because in a lot of videos they say, yeah, you need to wait for doubling the dough. But will the dough double like when it's 19 degrees? Like
it will just take a longer period of time.
Yeah, or like it will need like 12 hours, but then it's going to be like a midnight or something like this. And
so with your flour, you could actually wait for it to double in size.
Yeah.
It would take a bit longer, but it would be possible because you have so much gluten you could. Yeah. So in the end, you would have a dough which has a lot of flavor inside because you have fermented it for such a long period of time.
Wow.
But especially when getting started, this is also something I changed throughout my teachings. I always also recommend aim for a 20 to 30% size increase initially on the dough. It's going to make a lot of things way easier for you down the road.
Makes sense.
So I'm just going to do the same thing again. I am just going to use a little bit less. Oops. And you can already see.
Oh, that's cool. That's a nice step to kind of thin it out and roll it.
Because my dough is less sticky. It's also a bit easier to put it into the Mr. Aliquot. Oh, there's still a bit of water inside. Wait.
Yeah, I feel like a couple of droplets of water, it's nice because it's kind of slides down easy. All right. Boom. Nice. Technique.
And now I'm going to be using the same technique that you did. I'm just going to push it down a bit. The problem with the stiff dough is it's a lot harder to get it to equally take the space. Actually, now that I'm seeing it, I'm just going to be putting a bit more inside just to fill it out so that we get a proper comparison.
And you need like a solid disc without bubbles.
Exactly.
I will just film a little marks we did on my sample. So this is how it looks like.
So I'm also going to mark this now. You could of course use a rubber band. I always mark where fermentation started.
Yeah. And
I'm also going to be aiming for 30-ish. Maybe it's a bit less.
All right.
It's always better to go for less than too much. Painful advertisement in the middle of the video. I wrote this book called The Sourdough Framework. It was made possible with the help of the community. I launched 2 Kickstarter campaigns, and this is a 250-page book covering all the details, science, and everything you need to know about bread making. Now this book is completely free. You can read it on the-sourdoughframework.com. The whole content is there, but if you like what I'm doing, if you want to support my channel, if you want to gift something special to somebody who's just starting baking, consider getting yourself one of these hardcover copies. You are supporting my bread cause and enabling me to teach more people around the world how to make amazing bread. If we were to ferment in our loaf pan, or if we were to bake in a loaf pan, we could ferment the dough for way longer. We could get that maximum flavor explosion because in the end we would have the support of the loaf pan while the bread is baking.
And if we were using the loaf pan, the dough would already be in the loaf pan, or no?
No, I would always ferment it outside first.
Okay.
I would make a big batch of dough, so I do have a very large quantity because I might still want to do a stretch and fold in between, and that would be hard to do inside of the loaf pan.
Okay.
So it could be possible to put it directly into the loaf pan. I've tried and it works, but I personally prefer to use the same process and then in the end just change the location.
All right.
Okay, now it's important that we make sure that those don't dry out too much, and so we're just gonna cover them.
All right.
And now we'll just observe this and continue.
So I guess putting, like, do you like screw it in or you just?
I screwed it a little bit, yeah.
So basically, okay, like, does it matter if it's screwed in or not? Like, the external air can come in or not?
It might dry out a bit on the surface, right? If it's open,
makes sense.
And then maybe the dryness would block it from expanding upwards.
Yeah, makes sense.
So we're gonna grab us a coffee, and I will take my dough with me, and I will get that dough into my kitchen because I do have a floor heating in the kitchen. And I'm gonna let it sit on the floor because I used so little starter and we started the dough way late. I want to speed things up a little bit, and that's why I am going to be letting it ferment in my kitchen.
Like, shall we do this? We might as well.
I don't think we have to do it with Anatoli's dough because your dough has 30% starter.
So we don't want this bacteria to eat everything up.
Yes.
Before the yeast. Okay.
Exactly. So your dough is going to ferment way faster. It's probably going to ferment at the same speed as my dough, which I'm now putting in the warm area. And I'm not talking like, I don't know the Fahrenheit value right now. I'm going to put it here into the video. It's going to be like 25-ish, more like 23 degrees in my kitchen, whereas here it's probably 19 degrees right now. It's winter time right now here in Germany.
I feel like after like you live at least like a couple of years in Germany, like it's like 19, 20. I feel like you can sense the temperature very. Like for example, if my bedroom is like 21, I feel it. I cannot sleep. It's just too warm. It's just too hot. It's like, man, how can I breathe it? So it's I feel like it's 20 degrees.
I said I always only use 10% of starter, but actually that's not true. In winter times, I sometimes go higher. Because it's just so cold and it takes so long, then I just like to speed things up a bit, and then I increase the amount of starter, but I then really pay close attention that the starter is in a good stage before I use it.
Nice. Since we're on it, Hendrik, tell me, because my next experiment is to use the fermentation chamber and box with a heat pad. Like, what's the experiment with it? Like, what should I expect? Is it like 25 degrees and then 6 hours, or like what's the method?
So the timing is something you have to figure out for your flour and sourdough starter combination. So that's unique to your environment. I couldn't give you an exact timing. I would still probably try to aim for 8 to 10 hours of fermentation, and you can achieve that by lowering the amount of starter, increasing the amount of starter to make it faster, or increasing or lowering the temperature of the fermentation chamber. I would probably use 25-ish degrees, and then put it inside and then ferment. Use the same approach with this Aliquot jar. I think people are gonna get.
I feel like now we have to Google it. Like, no, like who is the Aliquot? Damn it.
And make sure that the dough is the same temperature as your fermentation chamber. So let's say your fermentation chamber is going to be 25 degrees Celsius. Make sure the water you use to make your dough is also 25 degrees Celsius, so that the temperature of the dough matches the fermentation chamber when your dough enters. Because else the reading of the Aliquot jar is not...
Makes no sense.
Makes no sense.
Makes no sense. Yeah, I'll just put them next to each other inside, again, like I watched a video, I do experiments. Yesterday I watched a video about like this fermentation thing. So you need to put a pad, then a metal tray, so your bowl with the dough doesn't really touch the pad, otherwise it's going to be like too warm. So something in between, Yeah, and then just leave it for, I don't know, 5, 6, whatever hours. Cool. Then I guess I'm all set. But again, so now your dough is going on the heated floor. My dough stays because we don't want to speed up this bacteria versus yeast battle.
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
Now, since it was already quite late, I continued to monitor the samples and then shaped the dough on my own. On the left-hand side, Anatoli's dough in a linen, and on the right-hand side, my dough directly in a banneton. I then moved them into the fridge to retard them overnight, and then we resumed in the morning with baking both of them.
Here's our oven, so 250 degrees, rocks in the bottom, and then we have the nice pizza stone.
And it already sounds like a sauna with the crackling rocks. Now I'm going to reduce the temperature to 230. I just put it to 250 just to speed things up a little bit. But don't bake too hot. I'm always baking sort of at a low hot temperature.
Yeah, 230. Also do 230.
I did a Hawaii joke. There's this one joke, maybe you've heard it before. I recently made a pizza Hawaii, but it got burned. I should have made it at aloha temperature.
Nice one.
Okay, so I think the oven is ready. Now we're just gonna make sure that we steam everything properly. And then let's bake.
Let's bake. Let's boil some water. Yeah.
Anatoli has introduced me to a nice hack. Talk about the thermos hack.
All right, the thermos hack. So basically, what leveled up my rice game is the using rocks for steam. It just as I said, I tried water, ice cubes. I mean, spend this money, get the rocks. It's just life changing. But in all the videos, basically people use a kettle. So basically, you boil the water to make it 100 degrees, and then you kind of pour it over the rocks. And the problem with this, you have the oven door open, all the steam leaves the oven basically. First of all, it's in your face, it's kind of you just do it kind of like this. And it takes a long time to do this. And by the time you finish, I guess half of the steam is already out. So what I figured is I will usually grab a thermos, I would boil the water, transfer it here, and then basically I can just literally splash the whole liter of water inside. There's so much steam that you'll see that basically the moment we close the door, there's so much steam that basically it kind of opens the door and wants to escape. So I guess it's going to be funky. I hope nothing will go wrong. But the amount of steam trapped in the oven is just crazy. I had the biggest rise the moment I switched to that thing. So hope you learned something new.
Let's give it a shot.
Let's give it a shot. The moment of truth. So how do you do it? So here's the bread. Put it in one hand, I grab my paper, I put it over the basket. I use my hand to make sure that it won't just fall on the table. So I do this, then I flip it, I kind of land it nicely, and then just make sure that there is nothing bad in here. Okay, so good transfer. Let me slowly do that. Alright, wow, that looks amazing. And you see there's no rice flour, there's no more magic I need to do, so I can just go and proceed with the cut. 45 degrees angle, I just use my hand usually to navigate the razor blade, and I start from the very, very bottom, and let's do it. Let's do it. I feel that very nice. It's very, very easy because even without rice flour, I felt the surface kind of have a little bit of kind of sturdiness to it. So actually, it was just very, very easy, very nice.
Looks nice.
And usually I just don't cut any further. So I just do it once and stop. So, all right, one down. Hendrik, your turn.
The bread here, not inside of the linen
No
banneton.
linen, no rice flour.
I'm just going to take it and I will just flip it over like
okay.
this. And hopefully it's going to come out.
Boom, wow.
And it did.
Look at these lines. Oh my God. Oh my God, I hope they'll make it to the final baked bread.
And now I'm going to store it again, like Anatoli said, 45-degree angle, which is relative to the surface. So I'm just gonna score it here, in the middle. I'm not gonna give it a too deep cut. Mm-hmm. And you can already see I screwed up my scoring a little bit here. Mm-hmm. But
I feel like there's an air bubble.
Yeah, should be okay. Yeah. And now let's load these two breads into the oven.
And you already can see that my bread kind of goes a little bit to the side.
Yes.
So it kind of, like yours is like a brick, basically. There's no movement. It's very solid.
Would you like me to spritz yours too with water?
Well, let's do it a couple of spritz, but what I kind of... Yeah, let's do it. I tried to do no water, and pretty much the same rice. So
Okay.
it's just the only trick is we just need to load it right now.
Okay,
So
we need to load it right now. I'm gonna do that.
let's go. The bread goes in. Perfecto. So now step 1's done.
Okay.
Step 2, we put the reverse tray.
Reverse
Perfect.
tray. Now we're gonna put the boiling water.
And we can do it really real fast. Boom. And we close it. And let's see if we have the... Crazy, right?
That's even a bit too much water. Look at it's sort of even boiling here at the bottom of the oven.
Okay, can I focus? Yeah, like there's like a freaking volcano inside. Yeah. But that's what I want. Like, and as I said, like when I do it, I just do it literally in one motion, and then when I close it, there's so much steam, it like literally just opens the oven's door and just starts like flapping for a couple of seconds.
If you just put your face here, you feel that, whoa, there's so much steam coming out.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm gonna increase the temperature again to 230 degrees. I just lowered it a little bit because the steam, because the oven was a bit too hot for the stone too. So now 230, that's my default baking temperature.
Hendrik, and does your oven allow us to turn off the fan?
Yes.
Okay.
So if your oven does not allow you to turn off the fan, I'm sorry, but the only option you have is to either bake inside of a loaf pan or to bake inside of a Dutch oven. Because if you cannot have that steam stored in your oven, your crust simply forms way too quick.
100%. Because like the ventilator, when it works, it just literally removes that cold air from the surface, and it just literally just gives it a crust like in a minute.
This is so interesting, Anatoli. It's very hard to see.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
But you can see the
There are so much bubbles on my bread. Oh my god! I swear to God, there was nothing like this in a year I baked. Oh my god!
And you can see the crust is sort of like a gel.
Oh, actually, I can do this. Look, I can do this. I hope I won't ruin your iPhone, but wow! Oh my god!
Just look at the texture of the surface, and you only get that because of the steam we added.
Wow! Holy moly! I've never seen anything like that. Oh my god!
This is so steamy right now.
So interesting. I mean, you can see how wet is it?
Yes.
Wow.
I'm curious to see whether your bread is going to rise because it flattened out quite a lot, right?
Yeah.
But it could be that it still rises. We'll see.
It's the same. Like I feel like I see how your cut is opening up live.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if we'll make a time lapse, but I hope we just can cut and catch on video. It's amazing. I love how your bread is just like vertical. Like the walls are vertical, nothing's moving. It's gonna be beautiful bread, 100,000,000%. And mine, you see like how flat is it, but it will rise. I'm pretty sure like it will go maybe like some centimeters up, for sure.
I mean, mine will probably rise,
Wow.
yes, I'm sure. The question though is of course in terms of flavor, whether that 80% hydration gamble that you took is going to pay out because the crumb is going to be a bit more fluffy, but we'll see about that.
Man, but I'm already 100% sure that it's gonna be the most beautiful bread I've ever done. Oh my god, just now look at the surface. That's ridiculous.
And from you.
Yeah. No, like seriously, I can't believe it. It's where. Oh, by the way, do we track time? How long do we bake?
We'll go with the flow.
With the go flow, okay. 13:11. Okay, I'll just. Oh my god, man!
There's you know why?
Hundreds of bubbles.
You know why?
Crazy.
Because we didn't use any rice flour.
Wow. Oh my god. It's fascinating. It is fascinating, and it is rising. Like it's already like. I see that basically it's already started to jump up. Oh my god. I don't believe my eyes, man.
I should have cleaned my oven.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Okay, how much time has passed? So it's 3:59.
Like 30, 40 minutes?
45, I think.
45 minutes already. Oh, wow. And we didn't remove the source of steam.
And let's look at what's inside. Look at that. I mean, your bread went straight up. Mine went a little bit to the side, but also like probably 1.5, 2 times up. So it looks amazing.
So we are just gonna remove the source of steam. Well, it seems everything anyways evaporated. And then we're just gonna continue, let these two beauties bake until we are happy with the color.
And we leave it at 230, right?
Yes, we leave it at 230. I'm now going to remove the inverted tray here at the top. We don't need it anymore.
Maybe it's worth to mention like how you timed it. So basically my technique was like, hey, let's go for like 28 minutes and I don't look at it. And your approach is like, hey, let's actually observe bread. Let's see how it rises. And then we stop when it stops changing basically. And it's very interesting that you see like it took longer. And yeah, I mean, the result is just fascinating.
Well, this approach works if you have baked a few breads and you have reference values. Of course, if you don't have any reference values, the best thing you can do is just bake for 30 minutes with steam and then maybe bake another 15 minutes. 1-5, I know I have issues pronouncing 15. Without steam. But now, if you look at these breads here, it depends on what kind of crust color you like. To me, this is still not dark enough.
Yeah,
but some people prefer the crust a bit more pale, so this bread should be okay. One of the things though to notice that I'm also not really happy with how it's here at the bottom.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna be removing the parchment paper
to
to give that even a bit more temperature from the bottom through the stuff.
Nice.
Now let's also look at your bread real quick.
Yeah, let's do it. I mean, you saw it like basically by my face. It's the first time I have an ear on my bread. That is crazy to me. And Henrik, what did I do wrong that half of the ear actually opened up and half of the ear kind of seems closed?
So that's the scoring technique. We're gonna put the scoring technique here one more time.
Yeah.
Because you use sort of like a motion like...
Yeah, it's clearly on the video.
You damaged the cut a little bit.
Best looking bread ever. Like, I mean, you'll see it from the photos as well, but also like so much bubbles. Like, I love it so much. And the fact that it opened up, I mean, it has ear like, oh man, it's, I don't know, magic. I was so afraid that nothing will happen, but it looks so much different from my typical loaf. Wow.
And now I'm just gonna turn on the fan. Because I want things to be a bit faster now, because the bread is baked and now we're just doing it for the sake of getting a darker crust color.
Actually, now it makes total sense. You want like a quick, basically a quick burn, so the surface just browns. Wow. It's also new to me, like no fan for the rising phase, and then actually you want fan for crust in it. Damn, it makes like so much sense. Wow. Like, seriously, new thing to me. Like, I never thought about it. It makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It also saves energy, right?
Yeah. Damn.
Okay, so let's wait, I guess, another 10-ish minutes.
Yeah.
And then we'll be back. But while the fan is now on, you really want to make sure that you watch the breads.
Yep.
Because you don't want them to be too dark.
Yeah. All right, let's observe it. The moment has come.
It smells so
like
good
the whole kitchen smells bread. So it's 1422, so we did it like 20 minutes, I feel like, of crusting. And look at this brownie goodness. Oh my God, that is amazing. So now we're taking this out.
The crackling sound.
Yeah, like I'm not...
It also has a nice crust now from the bottom. These breads are ready. Now the hardest part of the whole process starts. We have to wait for an hour before we can slice them and eat them. But if you're super hungry and you don't care, just cut it, inhale it, you earned it. But if you want perfection, you gotta wait for an hour. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I actually like to sit next to it and just like listen how it cracks.
You normally now want to put them onto a rack. Yeah. I don't have one ready now, but I'll see if I can take this down from the oven and then put them on that rack. Because if we wouldn't do that, there would be a lot of water at the bottom, and you can already see that water there. And the bottom is going to become super soggy. So try to put them on something where you have air circulation 100%. At the bottom.
Okay, I hope you caught it, but it like crackles like very loud. All right, guys. I mean, still can't believe it that we did this, and I was so afraid
you can be proud of yourself.
Man, I'm a little bit proud of myself because I was so afraid that basically, you know, like I'll come and we'll do this and we'll have like the same looking bread, because like nothing works. No matter what you do, you'll have the same thing. But like I swear to God, it is the best loaf of the last year.
Nicely
Man,
done.
thank you. I'm so happy. Like tons of bubbles, all these years. I mean, you can see that I made a bunch of mistakes. We'll talk about it in a sec. But the first time ever I have an ear, like that's crazy. The way it risen, I mean, it almost catch up yours, which is super cool. And I mean, volume-wise as well, like it's so big, and yeah, like I can't wait to cut into it and taste it actually, and compare, like, because we use different starters, different flours, how's like taste-wise. Let's go. Wow. I'll be silent, you'll just hear it. I hope the mic will catch it. Oh my God. Like even cutting feels different. Like it's really, really cool. Wow. And here we are. Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
So
look at that.
Amazing. I can sniff so much, like I can sense so much aroma.
Look at that.
Man,
great fermentation.
it is so good.
many amazing pockets of air. Super fluffy.
Like we were talking with Henrik yesterday that I want like medium size kind of like bubbles evenly distributed. Ta-da! Man, it is. Smells it even. It's kind of funny. Like it even smells not like a little bit different than my regular bake. But I mean, oh man, it's art form. It's an art. I love it. I love it. So let's cut yours.
Yes.
You want to do it?
Yes. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Man, that sound.
You can already, like you said, while you're slicing it, you already feel the fluffiness coming through.
Absolutely. The crust.
Oh my goodness. This is gonna be the moment of truth. Are you ready?
Nice.
Oh.
Wow. Okay. This looks pro. That's amazing.
Look at that bunny shape as well.
Exactly. Yeah, that looks so good.
Nice ear here from the bunny.
Yeah, that looks
Good.
amazing.
This is so fluffy.
Yeah. Oh man, that's perfect. I'd say that is perfect. Wow. The smell test. What do you think? Did the starter difference made it into the final bread?
I would say for sure they smell slightly different.
Yeah.
Please test yourself.
All right. Let me pass the camera.
Yep. I'm gonna hand over to you.
All right. Let's see. So I'll smell. Wait. What? Which? Okay. I was like, this is the same bread. Okay, this is mine. Wow, yours smells like kind of like buckwheat. Wow, very interesting.
It's. I wouldn't be able to describe it exactly what it is, but it smells different, doesn't it?
Yeah. Wow, very interesting. I don't know which worse is from mine. I mean, it smells like bread. Wow, super good. But if I would close my eyes, I'd 100% be able to say like this one is yours.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like flowers from the start, it's like a different smell. Amazing. Actually, I mean, to be honest, they both smell amazing. Like I say, like if in the restaurant I would get a slice of this bread or that, I would be happy. So let's actually now taste them. Let's cut a slice and see what our taste buds will say. So 80% hydration, and
probably like
60,
70%.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
So right, I will try mine. Wow. Oh my God. I feel like the crust is a bit thicker than I usually do it, but my God. That's so good. It adds so much different like flavor to it, because it's like I usually bake it thin crust. Oh, that's so good.
You like it?
It tastes different than I do. It's so fun. Like, how is it possible?
And it's just 3 ingredients, right? Flour, water, and salt.
Super great. It's funny how it doesn't taste as my usual bread. It even, like when I look at it, even the color is a bit like brighter, I'd say. I don't know, like maybe I'm like making this up, but it kind of feels like it's different. All right, and I'm on the truth, let's say. It's like completely different bread. Wow. Wow, it feels different on when you bite it. Kind of like yours.
Would you really be able to say it's better, or is it just different?
I would say it's a bit different. I feel like yours has a little bit more spectrum to it. So I guess like I'm also like used to my bread, but I feel like the starter difference really made sense.
Like, it could also be the 20% whole wheat that I added.
Yeah, could be. Yeah, so definitely a different recipe, and you can taste it in the final thing. Although it's not like this flour aroma, or like it's different. Such a pleasure to eat this bread.
This is the 80% hydration bread. This is the roughly, let's say, 60% hydration bread. And it looks very, very similar. I wouldn't be able to notice a difference. And people saying, you gotta do 80%. It's a marginal difference, right?
Absolutely.
For so much more effort.
Absolutely, 100%.
And the beauty is with this bread, we could have turned that into a baguette. We could have turned that into a pizza. So we do have, it's like a full stack bread that can become everything. Super good. Wow, I was about to say, where's the sour tang? But then I waited for 5 seconds and now, whoa, what a nice flavor, nice tang. Crust is delicious. Very, very delicious. Okay, now it's a bit unfair because the part that I'm about to eat from my bread is also a bit darker in terms of crust. Well, let's give that a shot. So, the crust is a game changer. The dark crust here, I feel just, I don't know, it gives you this extra flavor to it. My bread is not as sour as yours. I really like the tang that's sort of sneaking in from the back. That's what I like about it. I would also say that the acidity here though on my bread, it's not as strong, but it also has a slightly more subtle acidity to it.
Life is great.
Life is great. This is perfection. These are two really, really great breads. I wouldn't be able to say which bread is better. Some people might prefer that. Some people might prefer the other one. We made two amazing breads, and I think this just shows that by changing a few things, you can really greatly elevate your bread game. We made two amazing sourdough breads here.
And Anatoli was kind enough to send me another list of his 7 key takeaways from the 2-day workshop. Personally, I really enjoyed this experience because I got to see a lot of things that are not so clear, especially when getting started to make bread. And these are definitely things I'm going to be incorporating in my future teachings. And now please enjoy his 7 important key takeaways.
So it's been a few months since we baked together with Hendrik, and I remember we were recording our retrospective about what we've learned, what I've learned, and it was like 1.5 hour long chat. We were quite exhausted, and then we saw that iPhone died like halfway through because of the battery, and yeah, it was that was a fun thing. So here I am recapping what I've learned for you from baking with Hendrik for a couple of days. We had like a list of I think like 17 points or something like that, but here I am just on top of my head what I remember and actually what I've been using all those months after we cooked with Hendrik. So number one thing, it's probably the most important one, is to use stiff starter. It's a game changer in terms of like how the bread rises. So kind of my personal approach is that in the fridge I store the 50% hydration starter, so it's like easier to mix, just quicker. But the night before baking, when I sort of let the starter activate, I use the stiff starter method. So 100% works, just use it. Then the second thing is to use the low hydration bread. Like in general, so I've started because the first video I watched was like 80% or something like that. It's super hard to work with. You need to work the dough many times for like, I don't know, first 4 or 5 hours. Like Hendrik's method is just to use low hydration. You'll have the same bubbles, same everything, but you don't need to work the dough that much. So you saw in the video that Hendrik just literally mix the dough, fold it once, and just let it ferment. And that's what I've been doing for the last couple of months, and the results are amazing. So stiff starter, low hydration dough, like low means like 60%, some of it 60, 65. I'm still experimenting, but 60 would like won't let you down. Once you have that dough is fermented, it has risen. Like what really blew my mind is that Hendrik didn't use any flour for the banneton, and I always used it. You know, like in the videos you see, like they sprinkle generously the banneton and the bread, and then you need a scraper to get all that burnt flour from the bread after you bake. And burnt flour doesn't really taste that good. So I also don't use the flour right now. The crust comes out like just perfectly, I don't know, like clean. You don't need to, you just save yourself time like scraping, and it doesn't stick to the banneton. Maybe like, I don't know, like I had it maybe like a couple of times, but then you just like, I don't know, get a little spank and then the dough comes out of the banneton. So yeah, so it's also been a time saver. Hendrik didn't time his baking, so I always use that kind of like, I don't know, again, all the videos say like, yeah, like bake 18 minutes, sort of with water, then I don't know, like 17 minutes without or something like that. So I don't, like, and Hendrik didn't time, like he's just like, hey, look at the crust, when the bread stop rising, like when the activity stop, then basically it's a signal that okay, let's remove the tray that kind of covers the heat spiral, and then let the kind of crust form. So yeah, I've also been doing that. I bake for maybe like 30 minutes with the tray, and then I come back and just see if the bread has risen enough, then you remove it. So yeah, it's kind of, there you have to basically find your time. And for me, like total, I think I bake for maybe like 50 minutes, some of that. And then I also, like another thing is that Hendrik removed the like parchment paper after some time, so to have the bottom of the bread kind of be more, how is it like, to bake more. And then also like you bake to the side a little bit, on the other side, and then flip. So basically you don't have that, so you have this kind of nice crust around the bread, not just on top. So that also been kind of like a game changer. And like you saw in the video, that Hendrik's bread was way more crusty, and actually that's what I like these days as well. So yeah, you need to do that parchment paper trick and find your timing with the tray. I mean, in general, that method that, I don't know if Hendrik invented it or not, but the method with rocks, lava rocks, and the tray that covers the spiral, I've never seen this anywhere else, but like this has also been a massive game changer. Because what I did before is like you spray the dough to sort of, how to say, like make the surface more liquid to allow like, to bread to rise more in the oven. But what it ended up doing is like the moment you spray the dough, you basically loosen up the surface that is kind of like, I don't know, hard from the fermenting, and then the dough is basically like flaps even before you put this into an oven. So what I do now is just like basically I just cut it and straight to the oven, and then I pour the water on the rocks. Like it works way better, and even like a freestanding loaf comes out way more basically narrow and tall instead of like flat. Not frisbee, but yeah. Finally, like everyone like on YouTube tells that you should bake in the oven without the fan, because basically what fan does is like removes the, how to say, like it kind of overheats the bread, and then you have the crust forms too early, and then the bread doesn't rise. But in the end, like basically after like 40 minutes of baking, when you actually basically make that crust, it's actually a good idea to turn on the fan, and then basically every couple of minutes just rotate the bread, and then the crust would be, basically you have, yeah, like more control of it. And if you like the crust bread, then actually turning on the fan in the end actually helps. Store your bread in the freezer. Like I was mega surprised that Hendrik like showed me his freezer. It's just like the bread was already sliced, and that's what I do these days. I have my freezer packed with like different sorts of breads, and then when I have, I don't know, like a quick sandwich, put a toaster, like with this, my toaster has this defrost mode, put a couple of slices in there, 2 minutes, and then I have like a bread that basically the same quality as I just baked it. So definitely a game changer as well. I just felt like it was a bit weird to store bread in the freezer, but here I am. And that's it. Well, Hendrik, much love for inviting me. That was really a blast, like literally baking before and after. Yeah, thanks so much. Cheers.
Let me end this by saying thank you one more time for all the monthly supporters that are making this channel possible. I really appreciate all your trust and all your support. Thanks for watching. I hope this video was helpful. May the gluten be strong with all of you.